You try to fix everything.
That's it.
You're such a fixer.
That's it.
Truly.
I try to fix my own fucking conversation.
Talking to yourself all day.
Terrible. Well, you're right. Yeah, that's the fix in me. I'm always trying to come up with a solution, trying to come up with an answer, trying to come up with what's next, trying to come up with, and I think, man, a lot of people must play that off pretty well, because I get buried in it. And a lot of the times I don't really leave it. If I didn't figure out the answer on one day, my first thoughts about the next day are where I left off.
Oh.
How fucked up is that? Yee. Makes me nervous.
I honestly don't know how I could do it.
See? How I do what?
Like, you'll go back to something the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
Until I get an answer.
But then, also, if it's not the answer that you want, you'll reflect, and you'll be mad at that response.
Yep. So I spend most of my time in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
They say is bad, right?
Who says that?
Yeah, I don't know. PhD Mike, I don't know. What hat am I fucking wearing today? Literally. That's what drives me wild. If you really want to know.
What happened today?
No, what hat? What hat am I wearing?
Oh.
Now, how many pieces of candy do I have in it?
3 pieces in my hat for
3
you.
pieces in my hat.
Not normal.
Anyways.
Your brain is very, very different.
It really is.
From the time that I met you to now. I don't think anyone could understand it.
Nah. So I'm really happy that you can somewhat pick through, some of the stuff I say.
Yeah.
And you can understand to a point which works.
I think all my years of therapy and your just overthinking met, and I was able to figure out, and we were able to find the answer together.
That's it. You said something the other day along those lines. You didn't know it though, and you said it. And I used it. But it was from your therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But are we supposed to do that?
I mean, my therapist says, no, you're not supposed to be each other's therapist, but...
What about if you're
you're
your own therapist?
You are, yeah. But I kind of find that when my therapist tells me that you can't be mine and I can't be yours, I understand what she's saying, but in retrospect, we are, because we spend so much time together and we're going through all of these things together, and we love each other enough to work through it. Not that you and I have any issues, because that's never the case, but it's shit that gets thrown your way and shit gets thrown my way, and an unfortunate circumstance here, and a catastrophe over here.
We spend so much time navigating.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's almost all we do, is navigate.
Is it because we move too fast?
I don't know. Is there a too fast?
I don't know.
Like, what is too fast? And is it a real thing? I mean, obviously...
I feel like no one else is out here navigating the shit that we're having to navigate, unless we are just the most unlucky individuals on the planet.
I think maybe they're doing little pieces. They get one, they stick to that one, they figure that one out. We're like, what's the next one? What's the next one? We haven't even figured out the first one yet, but we're trying to figure out 8 more, or at least that's what it seems like sometimes. and it is very tough to do that and not want to be, let's say, negative, right?
Yeah.
That's a task in itself. If you've got that many issues, not saying they're good, not saying they're bad, navigating all of them and then still being well enough in the mind to come home, have a decent conversation still, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I already lost myself. Just like confiding, just like have a decent conversation, you know, talk about life, whatever.
I thought it was funny that at the dinner the other night, the dean's wife, the first thing out of her mouth was that you are so well put together.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, on the outside.
But
on the outside. But no one thinks to know what is exactly going on in our mind or internally. And sometimes, like, I don't know what's going on with you because I'm not you, and you don't know what's going on with me because you're not me. Yep. And it's like the same thing that you said today about Dad, is that he's not taking into consideration all of the stuff that's going on outside.
Yes.
And on the inside, and how stressed it's making you.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and I think another topic, piggybacking off of it, I think that's why it's almost like when you always say that I can fix everything. Okay. Do you know where I'm going here?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can fix everything.
I enabled him.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that I always take care of everything.
Yeah.
Secretly. You know
he thinks that about you and you think that about me.
Yes. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Because you don't realize what kind of pressure you're putting on. You know. And the other person, you know, may deal with it very well, which we still, with the pressure we are under, we still carry ourselves, you know, the way we want to.
Yeah.
There are, obviously there's times where we're just like, oh my God, you know, but it's weird. We sit and have a conversation in the car and we're like, get out of the car, we go somewhere, what are we?
Fresh and new.
So that's the difference between some people and us. That's our core competency. We are able to turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. All
I've
while,
been like that my whole life.
Okay, which is great. And I may have learned how to do that just a little bit better from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not very good at it, but I'm different than, you know, I previously was. So, look at that. Learned something new today. I don't know.
Just different to think about.
Yeah.
Or you think that other people are thinking the same things as you, or
you want to think that?
Or like you said before, when people look at us, what are they seeing?
I don't know. A sign. A glow right above you.
I just think that's bullshit.
Or like the three, what are the things when you win the fucking slot machine? Like, oh my God, we gotta talk to her.
The jackpot.
Yeah, jackpot.
People are playing the penny slots and we're the fucking slot machine?
I'm just saying. They don't know you or I from Adam. They don't know a single thing. All they see is this. They don't see any emotion. They don't see anything. You could come in there as flat as a 2x4 and they would tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
They instantly want to have a conversation with you. You could come in there with RBF and somebody would want to talk to you.
I don't understand why it's like that for us.
I don't know either.
It's not just a you thing and it's not just a me thing.
No. And are there other people that experience the same thing?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
Or are we just
I don't know
like,
any of them.
me neither. Because nobody voices it. That's another thing going off of what you said. Do people think this way? Maybe they do, but they're never going to say anything.
Well, it was just funny because when I was at school, like I was telling you, and I was on that panel for the legal studies program, and I went and I dressed nicely, but I had the cutoff shirt.
Yeah.
And my tattoos were out, but then nobody said anything to me there. And then I met Kylie at Cyber.
So,
And then I walked away and she texted 2 minutes later and she goes, the girls at the table next to us thought that your tattoos were so cool. And I literally texted her back and I was like, that's so great, but why do people not voice that to me so that I could have a conversation with them about it?
right.
Because it's the same thing of when I open my mouth, I want people to get a different feeling than what they thought 2 seconds ago when they just looked at what it looked like. And same thing for you.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Okay.
But why does no one say anything to us? It's either you don't get
either
anyone
it
saying
all, yeah.
anything at all,
Yeah.
or then you get the random fucking people that come up to you and say, "Why did you do that to yourself?" and criticize you for looking that way without even knowing who you are. Like you get either the negative or you get nothing at all. Why?
Well, it's not
And is
always
it because of the
it's
generation
not,
thing?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think minute, like just a little bit, maybe. But I don't really think so. Okay, so back to the bank. You go into the bank, everybody talks to you.
I know.
Okay. You go to school where there's probably a few people somewhat like you, whatever.
There's a couple. Not as heavy.
But then you get there and you think the same thing is going to happen right off the bat because of all your work. And then it doesn't happen.
No, it
Riddle
doesn't.
me that. That's bank,
I think-
school. I don't get it.
School is the only place I have been, and I go every single day, where I haven't gotten bombarded with, oh my god, your tattoos are so cool.
Doesn't make sense.
No compliments, no nothing.
Doesn't make sense.
Radio fucking silence at school, but I go anywhere else. You go anywhere else in the world.
You'd think it would be polar opposite.
I know.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because while you're out in public doing general public things, you would think that everyone is, they're not gonna, obviously they're gonna say, hi, how are you? But they're not gonna be like, let me tell you my life story and I wanna hear yours.
Yeah.
Because you look so cool and I feel like I can just tell you everything right now. Let's have some tea. You know what I mean? I'll cut your hair while we're at it and do your fucking nails. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Don't get it. And maybe we're
When we
fools to
meet
not get it.
when we meet people for the first time too, it's the same thing. And then they want to be our best friends after. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then people get really confused when we don't want to be best friends. And it's nothing personal.
No.
But I think that comes back to the headspace thing. And what's going on in our minds. And what we got going on in real time. Versus what those people have going on real time are way off.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that anyone is lesser than anyone. It just means, where people really are, or what position they're in, or headspace. Right. You'd think that I wouldn't have any.
I know. Sometimes I really wonder about you.
Like, what if I'm a cone head and I just can't see it? It's under this fucking Carhartt hat.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, bummer. Well,
Uncle Jim would draw them in the driveway
they're
when we were kids.
They're funny. They're hilarious.
But I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's a lot of unknown. But the tattoo thing is like a, and it's such an identifying feature for us now. And like the people that do know us, like that's what they associate us with.
Look how many people are like, I talk to you all the time. I don't even know you have them.
Well,
people are still onto yours because they're still pretty fresh. I've been tattooed for almost 21 years.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
people now are just like, he's got some. Like, you don't see him? Am I right? Who's the topic of conversation when we're together? 90% of the time.
Well, not necessarily.
Yes. Yes, because what did you say earlier?
I say many things earlier.
Okay. Well, you voiced that not many women.
No.
Right? And if they are, most are way over
I
the
know.
spectrum. Like,
I know.
Like, way over it.
That's what really sucks for me, I guess, if I must say.
You're in a really small group.
Yeah, because I wholeheartedly don't know anyone that looks like me and does the things that I'm doing.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people that do look like you are tattooing.
Yeah.
Or they have some other crazy job, or, sorry to say, they don't have a really good job.
Yeah, okay? I know.
Or they went into the clink, or the list goes on. You know what I mean?
I also have found that when I say I'm so heavily tattooed, I don't think that people are actually registering how full I actually am.
You got that flowy tat.
Yo, do you do flowy tats?
Flowy tats.
You mean like a drunk scribble? And you have to explain it to people. Like, I find myself explaining
because
that I have everything tattooed except for my neck, hands, and chest. And that there's no other space. I have no other space left.
They don't put that together until they actually see. That's a real vision thing. For people unlike us, okay, your initial, like, I'm covered means so many things.
I got a couple sticker tats.
I got, one here, one here, one here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't think wall to wall, color pack, everything. That's not... Dude, people don't know that terminology.
No, that's true.
Your everyday person isn't like, what? Saturation? Is that what I do when I hit this bong? You know what I mean?
No, I...
Is that fucking recording?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if it was or not, but... Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, no, I do.
Like, there's a really small group of people who are educated on it, number one.
Yeah.
Number two...
Do you think people think that we're not educated on it and we're just fucking out here?
Are you kidding? Do you know how many people look at me and they're like, what's up with him? He's got him on his face. Look at me.
At least you didn't put it on your forehead or like under your eyeballs like an idiot.
Yeah, you're lucky you stopped me there. So I probably would have. Are you kidding? I was that dude who was like, somebody was like, hey, get this one. I was like, got it.
Yeah, but that's how I was.
Take me away.
That's how I was when I met you.
Yeah,
like, oh, what do you want? What do you want today? I drew this. You want it? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll put it anywhere. And I did.
Not to be cocky or conceited here, but you're really lucky. I say this with all due respect.
I know.
You're really lucky that I wanted to, when I would say things like that, it was almost like we clicked and I was like, okay, this is how it's going to look, how it has to look. I know she's going to love when everything is all together. Yeah. You didn't know that.
Not at all.
But I did.
I didn't think I would be where I am right now.
And for the fact that that's what kind of a tattoo artist I am. I don't want it to look all randomly pieced. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying about the look. You could have had... Mm-hmm. You could have been with anyone else. You could have been with another tattoo artist, and they would have been like, well, I like this Kermit the Frog here, and the Tasmanian Devil down here, and if you don't like that, well, I'm not tattooing you again for a while. But I was like, no, we got to get it done. So for how many years did we just go, Okay. All right.
In the kitchen?
Yeah. Kitchen magician. Dude.
Well, no, we didn't.
Poster child.
I feel like I'm a poster child for a lot of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We did it all.
I mean, we did, yeah.
But
not everything.
A lot of the work that we did was at the shop.
Yeah.
When I started to come around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we did. I don't know, we did a good portion.
But, yeah, we didn't really fill up anything.
Nah, we did so much after the fact.
Yeah, I know. It was constant.
Yeah, because I knew, like in my head, I was like, if this girl wants to be this covered, number one, it's going to take time. Number two, the longer you stay stagnant in between it, and you don't get anything, do you really want to come back to it? No.
I'm there right now.
Exactly.
Like, we don't want to get tattooed anymore.
I'm over it. So it was a good thing that we did what we did in the time that it really did work out exactly how I pictured it in my head. You know, minus your arms, which, you know, I wasn't really at first totally into it, but now seeing you and how put together it is now, it's even more, it took my vision again, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool.
I know. It's hard. I don't know who I was talking to the other day, but it wasn't you. And
oh, wasn't me.
No,
no
was,
shit.
It was on the walk from the panel. I was talking to one of my classmates because we went on the panel for the legal study program, and then we were walking those like kids and their parents to our class that they were shadowing. And so we were talking on the way, and we were talking about tattoos or whatever, and the girl that I was walking with, she was like, does your wardrobe get affected by how covered you are?
Shit,
and I was like, you are like the only person to ever ask that, and yeah, it does. And that's something that people don't think about. Like, I go to the store and I can't buy prints or like florals or colors because it looks just too weird when you put it on printed skin. So I think you either have to like, and I'm gonna probably get shit for it, but you have to pick one or the other. Like, if you want to wear those things, then don't get tattooed.
Right.
But like when you have tattoos and you have random ones too, like nonetheless, it looks even more weird.
Looks janky.
I just think it doesn't look as cohesive and as put together.
Yeah, and yes. Yeah, you can't.
That's why I always wear black, or I always wear a solid
white,
color.
Solid.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Unless it's long sleeve.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of getting everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, cliche or not, the point of putting the artwork on you is that somebody is directly going to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
If you got fucking a paisley outfit on, what are they going to look at? They're going to be like, I'm confused, you know?
I was really taken aback that somebody thought about that.
Nobody's ever said that.
I know.
Not in one time that we've been together, nobody's ever said that.
I know.
Huh.
It's weird. But I bet that's something that people didn't know that I struggle with is shopping.
Absolutely. Yeah, where people are like, man, they always wear monochromatic shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those two are pretty plain.
Yeah.
When really it's like, you know, we're pretty complex. I don't know. That's funny that somebody said that. I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
See, nobody asked me these questions. Nobody's running up to Mike and being like, hey, does it affect your outfit? What one? Fuck, man. If I could just wear my underpants all day, I probably would, but
Yeah, we know.
can't.
People ask you the most weird questions, though.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the most weird and obvious at the same time.
Like the basic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it would be weird. Most of the time, it's just basic.
Yeah.
What's your most painful one? You know what I mean? That's probably the number one question.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your most painful one? And every time you say what your most painful one is, doesn't matter if it's you or me, everyone is like, really? Really? Dude, I got one and it fucking hurt.
I got one on my bicep and it hurt so bad.
Oh,
On my back.
couldn't see it the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit. You don't say.
Yeah, no one ever believes when I say which one hurt the most for me. Like, but now my general response is they all fucking hurt. Like, none of them are good.
Yeah, because you've come to the, so when you first get tattooed, you're Billy Badass.
Yeah, nothing
You're
hurts.
like, nope, doesn't hurt.
I'm gonna take a nap.
I could get 3 people tattooing me, no problem. I fall asleep. Like, no, you don't, man. No, you don't. Unless you're on some serious, pills or whatever it is that you do or smoke. Not me, but yes. Eventually, you come to the conclusion and the realization that they all are painful, and they're just jamming you in the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at other people, like me, and you're like, "Oh, he's got one right there." Oh, and I'm like, "Yeah." But anyways, you're always gonna have that person that's like, "Nah, it didn't hurt, man."
Yeah.
I got a couple of them.
I think those people are genuinely just trying to impress you or fit in.
Absolutely.
And it comes back to the magnet of how you're already in that conversation to
connected.
begin with. So what can I say right now that's gonna make them think that I'm so cool so that I can hang out with them again or get something for free from us? That's fucking something that happens all the time. Just because you know us.
What's the most popular one? Right now, just after what you just said, what's the most popular one?
What? That people want for free?
No, not necessarily. What's the most popular question that people ask or think is going to be number 1, a conversation starter, or number 2, going to get them somewhere?
Do you tattoo?
Yes. Or where did you get your where'd you drink, man? I don't know.
I know.
Or you point to the dog, you know what I mean? He did it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny? That's like that's the most commonly asked question.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you tattoo?
Well, yeah, but not you.
Not you. That's what you always want to say. Every time, too. Like, one of these days, you're just going to be like, yeah, not you, though. Not today. Maybe.
I also think that the people that get to know us and they know what we do for a living, as far as like full time, with trucking in school, where do people think that we'd have the time?
Hey, when you get a free second.
Yeah, what free seconds do you think that we fucking have?
Right now is my free second.
Yeah.
Right now.
When I'm closing my eyes, that's my free. Those are my free moments.
Dude.
I got 2 a.m.
No, the other one for me, my other free moment is going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And sleeping.
Yeah, driving.
Yes, no, not even that. Well, I mean, yeah. A little too free.
Those are my free moments.
God, man.
I just don't get it.
I don't know.
Some things I don't think that we'll ever truly understand.
Who knows?
But it is funny to conversate about.
It is, because now guess what's going to happen tomorrow?
Do you tattoo?
Yeah. Yo, do you think
do you want
have time?
Do you want to see this design that I'm thinking about getting?
Yo, it's the size of a penny, but it's a portrait of my dog riding a jet ski on this lake. And I need to get the whole scenery in that, but it can only be as big as a penny because my parents will kill me if I get a tattoo. And it's got to be in the most discreet spot, probably the inner part of my armpit. Well, do you know how hard they're, fuck.
How much is that going to cost me?
Yeah, what's my price point on that? You know what? For you. I'm really good at deal making. Might as well call me fucking my fucking Jesus. It sure as shit ain't gonna cost the size of it. The size of that penny you're talking. I love that stuff. Do you know how many people?
That's another thing.
That's a whole.
Dude, we could go on for days about this. Especially the ones that are the fine line and the small. And I get that it's such a fad right now and you have to like give the people what they want. But at the same time, how many people getting those tattoos are being advised that they're not going to stay and that they're going to disappear and you're going to pay a couple $100 for something when you could spend a couple $100 an hour and have a cool ass piece versus
that
this
nobody
tiny,
has.
Yeah, that this tiny thing is going to fade away.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a big topic in the tattoo community. Not that we're heavily into that at all, but
I think it is. I think
you know it a little more than I do, but
I don't know nothing.
are you telling me that if someone came to you 10 years ago and said they wanted that, you wouldn't tell them to get the fuck out?
I mean, yeah. I'd be like, do you have a better design?
Well, you're the artist.
How about here? Let me go draw you something. 3 hours later. So this is what I came up with. Oh my god, that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be worth it. I promise. I don't know. It's really tough. That's a tough one there. And people could probably.
But those are not the people that are as badass as the people like me and you, or some of our friends like Kevin Jass, or like anyone that's so heavily tattooed. They're badass. But the people that want this fucking margarita glass or martini glass the size of a fucking penny that's gonna disappear in 2 years, you are not badass. I don't care. I don't care. I'll stand on it. I'll tell you to your face. You're not badass.
Yeah, but for 10 minutes, all right, and that thing is poking the shit out of them. They're like, look at me.
But it's a social media thing too.
I think that's.
So much of it is intertwined with different avenues of what we're talking about.
Yeah. See, when I first started tattooing, it wasn't even a thing.
Tiny tattoos.
We still had MySpace,
I know.
right? People didn't even know what social, like,
Yeah.
you know, what that even was. You got a piece, you came in, you got a piece. And it, I mean, I think those things meant way more to people than some of the stuff now, you know. Obviously, people are still out there getting crazy, you know, good art, really good pieces. But there is a whole crowd
I know.
that just doesn't know. No etiquette.
No, none.
No desire to even put any thought or anything into whatever design they're getting. Straight, throw a dart at the wall. That's the one I'm getting. That's fine to an extent. But, you know, to each their own, whatever.
The etiquette is big. I think not only just like the etiquette in tattooing, but I think etiquette in life in general.
Yeah.
People don't know how to tip. They don't know how much to tip. They didn't know they needed to tip. No one's taught that.
Yeah,
and then let's bring my whole entourage to the tattoo appointment.
Yo, but my cousin's coming, and my brother and my sister's boyfriend, he's coming, and then I think my mom and dad are coming too. And they can bring a pizza if you are hungry.
I know.
No. Stop. I'm going to stop you right at the door.
It's like that when we do the events and everyone's got to like bum rush. It's like getting on an airplane. Like you have a seat. You paid for a fucking seat. Relax. We're all going to get there at the same time. You don't need to bum rush everyone.
It's funny though. It's so funny because half of it is flattering.
I guess.
It is. You know it.
I don't think I would have thought of it as flattering, but...
Why? When we do a show and everybody, what word did you use? Bum rush?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think that's so funny?
It just is. I don't know why. Anyways, Don't you get that feeling right off the bat before you hear what idea they want? When people are coming toward you and you know that they're coming to you because they want that service, does that not feel good to you?
I mean, in a sense, but my first thought is like, what dumbass design or personality am I gonna get right now?
I think that's what makes it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's piggyback off it and talk about briefing and debriefing.
Everything that we do, we will brief and debrief. Pre-brief and debrief. There's no actual brief.
Sounds like a fucking spray. Did you get your pre-brief on? No, I got the debrief.
We gotta talk about the shit that we're going to do beforehand and what
That's what I'm
we're
saying.
gonna bet on is gonna happen. And then when we get in the car to come back home from wherever it is that we are, we'll be like, I fucking told you. I fucking told you that was gonna happen. Or can you believe that shit? Can you believe this person said that?
No.
I mean, I know a lot of couples do the same thing.
I know. I think it's so fun though. If I'm really being honest, getting down to the brass of it, that shit is so fun to me. Like just that part. There may be some instances where we're at a show, we're tattooing, somebody brings too many people, yada yada, they're talking about something that's either irrelevant or something that I don't like to talk about. Still, after it is my favorite part. You know, because while you're tattooing, sometimes you block it all out. Sometimes I don't even know what anyone's saying. And then I wonder, like, what you conversated about the whole night.
Oh, yeah.
While I was looking back, like, wonder what she's talking about.
I know.
That's my favorite part, too.
It's hard because you and I can't, like, do this and do it at the same time. Like, we're always separated at those, so we don't have any other option other than to pre-brief and debrief.
Somebody give me a fucking squirt bottle. Let me get some pre-brief on before we go in. It's like putting my pants on. Got your pre-brief? Dude. So I don't smell like Badussi.
No one's gonna know what that means except for the two of them.
That's alright. That's alright. Put it together, everyone. Really.
Badussi.
Yeah.
That's a new slang term.
Use that one end of it. Put something different at the beginning.
We're gonna get comments be like, what is Badussi?
Hey.
But Delaney and Lindsay will know.
Hey man, shout out to you too.
Shout out Delaney and Lindsay.
There's a lot. There's so much on this topic.
I know. It's hard to condense it all into one conversation. Yeah. Almost midnight.
We just lost a few customers.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. There's got to be people out there that would appreciate our honesty and bluntness. Like, come on. If I was acting a fool, I would want somebody to let me know.
Me too. If I was going in a shop and I literally wanted a broken arrow on my, somewhere, someone would be like, why? Or, are you sure?
Circling back to you saying that I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I am, because I learned from you the things to do and to not to do.
I don't know everything.
Yeah, but still.
Some of the basics, yeah. Yeah. Rules.
None of it's changed.
No.
Really.
No.
Except now people pay with credit card, so.
That's the only thing you pulled from. Some people pay with credit card now.
There's always like a cash thing.
I mean, yes and no.
My first experiences even before I met you, at a tattoo shop, was that it was cash only, and that's the only form of currency that they took.
I mean, that is true, because when I got my first tattoo, yeah. Mind you, think about this. We're sitting here talking about how people don't know. Picture me getting my first one.
A farm kid getting his first tattoo. Out of place.
Way out of place.
Did you know that you needed to tip them?
No. Exactly. I didn't know shit, man.
But when you got your haircut, did you tip that person?
Not until I met you.
Are you kidding me?
Dead nuts.
Well, something I didn't know about you.
Win-win. I had no idea. I had no idea that was a thing until I started tattooing, because that would be my first service.
Oh, that's
job,
true.
right? So until you get into that,
Yeah.
you have no idea. I didn't know that.
That's
I know
valid.
when you go to a restaurant, but in my head, restaurant tattoo, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Until you get into it and really unfold all the layers,
Yeah, that's true.
that's a service. You know what makes me laugh?
What?
Okay, just gonna throw out this might make some people mad. Let's go back to the price point thing.
Okay.
And when people come in and they want to put a price on something,
Yeah.
that's on you forever.
Uh-huh.
But you could go buy a pair of Air Jordans that you might wear out in a few months for double the price,
Mm-hmm.
and you say yes to that but no to the tattoo. Why?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Or a pair of jeans.
I think it's the priority of the person.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. But I think everyone that offers a service that we know experiences the same thing.
Right.
Like, I know when I go to my hair appointment, it's
Same
going to be a
thing.
certain amount of money,
Yeah.
and I'm paying for her time and her materials.
Yeah.
In an end result, but yet she tells me that there's people out there that complain and try to Jew her down in the middle of the service, nonetheless.
Dude. I would stop.
Especially with the price of inflation now, people can't not take that into consideration. That's fucking huge. For someone to do their job and to buy the supplies that they need to buy,
Well,
are
Not
people
only
just
that.
not thinking about...
yeah. Again, with the layers. They don't understand. Like,
No,
so let's think about it.
no,
Let's
they're
break
not
it down.
thinking about it
They're
because they're thinking that whatever price somebody's putting out there is so that they can collect on their material costs and their time cost,
Yeah.
but they're not actually putting it together.
Let's talk long term. How's my back gonna feel in another 10 years? Am I gonna still be able to tattoo?
Probably not.
Okay. So that extra amount that maybe you tipped me or I charged you is, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
And if you're a good artist and a good human being, you'll learn how to take what you have, progress with it, save it, yada yada yada, step. But a lot of people, when you go into a tattoo shop, are you thinking of all those things?
No.
Dude, you're just thinking like, who's gonna give it to me today,
And for the cheapest.
and is it gonna hurt? 3 simple things. So
I also think the logic of what people are thinking goes out the window when they walk into a shop and they get all
it's the aura.
stuttery and they're out of their element and they don't know
It's
what
the
to
aura.
expect. So it goes out the window.
Not for all.
No, not for all, but most.
There are some first timers that will come in and be collected. They'll come in with a plan and a design, and that's like a very rare thing, but it does happen. They'll come in with their little fucking notebook or their laptop or whatever. This is what I want. You know what I mean? And we'll look at it and be like, wow, they actually thought about this for a minute. Those are very few.
Is that the preferred client to you?
I wouldn't really say that.
No? You take Jimmy Two Shoes over here and
Depends on how I'm feeling.
if he
that
wants
day.
a swastika, he's gonna get it?
Everybody knows me, okay? I think that's a hard question to ask me because I don't really care most of the time.
Yeah.
If they're having a good time and I'm having a good time and it's you know, and they're happy with their result and stuff like that, then it's, you know,
Win-win.
I mean, I guess if you want to use that. I wouldn't necessarily say that that person is a perfect client. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they're going to be very, they're going to critique it a lot, you know, a lot differently than you think they're going to. They're going to nitpick the fuck out of it. So you're going to get an hour into it, okay? You get an hour in, and you're going to be like, this line here, it's happened.
Or can you move it completely?
Dude. Buddy, it's on ya. Literally. There it is. So, I don't know. This is funny. Yeah, so no. I bet you tons of people would disagree with me on that shit.
Probably. I feel like people disagree with a lot of the shit that we say.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
These are just our nighttime conversations.
Tomorrow I'll be thinking about some other random shit that I wanted to add to this.
Or you'll just be thinking about everything you thought about all day today.
Touche. Yikes.
You circle back around. And back around. You're the snake that eats its tail.
Yeah, but is that bad?
Yes, and yeah.
Good. You hear that, everyone? I eat myself.
Yeah. Not really, but mentally.
Yeah.
Well.
That's all I got on that topic for right now.
Okay. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle back.
We should put a poll out and see what questions
Oh my god.
people have for us. I want to know what people think about us. Truly. I don't want no fake shit. I want to know. People can say we're nice and, you know, all of this. But, like, I want to know. What do people talk about when they go home? And have their dinner time conversations or their nighttime conversations about us. Even if we may not even make it to their dining room table. But I just want to know, like, when people interact with us, what they think about afterwards. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone is brave enough to tell us.
Sure.
A free sweatshirt to
Yeah.
anyone brave enough to tell us, truly, what they think.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it at that. See everybody later. Colin's sick to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Beat it.